When we're talking about branding, story matters. For us, most of the time that we spend, yes, we help companies and corporations and that type of thing develop their brands, but we have a program called Discover the Brand of You, where we are literally helping people discover their executive brand, who they are, why they're brought to the table, how they're able to tell their story. So that, when teaching and talking to young adults is so important, and even young professionals and executives, helping them to understand you don't just work for the company, you're working with the company. We help create professional partnerships. So, how am I a partner in this space? Well, you can't just become a partner, you have to come with a part of that partnership to the table. You need to know who you are, where you're going, why you're here. And it's not enough to just take a job, but to understand your mission and why your mission is so important for what your partnership is serving. And that's one of the things that's so important in leadership development, is to understand how your mission is aligned with where you're going. So no matter where you go, you are still aligned and your brand is represented because it's true to who you actually are and where you're going to go next. When we're talking about building the brand and building a legacy, it's how do I build this legacy? How do I build the brand of my legacy? Well, you have to create supportive systems. It's not just about you being an effective leader. I'm so sorry. It's not about you just being an effective leader. It's about you creating structure that's going to still stay when you're gone. So I always say, if you're not leaving a legacy, you're just leaving. But what are you leaving other people with based on your particular brand? And how do you make the brands that you work with better?
Well said. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I would love to go off that and talk about how media is, it's just so, it's so different now, because when people are promoting their project, whether they have the backing of a studio or the backing of even a commercial team, they can just promote it on their social media. Someone can start a makeup line, like Rihanna can start her makeup line, and she can just post about it on Instagram and she could sell it out. She doesn't necessarily need all the things that you would do to make a Super Bowl commercial or any commercial, but she does, because she knows that branding is important and that adds to the legitimacy of her product. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on how to make a product legitimate when only using media and entertainment.
Can you explain that a little bit further? That question? Dana, can you clarify your question?
So, when we're using media in these times, we think, yes, we think that social media or TikTok, Instagram, even just using something like Safari, just digital media, that is the way that people go. That's kind of the way that works nowadays. I feel like we were talking earlier about television and how people would watch the Super Bowl with 30-second television spots. But now another way, and a kind of more successful way to talk to people's understanding of a product, is to post about it. And what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it's funny because I think you add, but look, if you have 20 million people, there's 112 million people that watch the Super Bowl in the United States this year. So the Super Bowl ads are still really powerful, really important. The difference is now if I'm a campaign strategist, I can leverage a whole lot of other tools to personalize and get deeper and more intimately connected with that audience. And I think that's, so I want to be clear. Television is still a big, powerful vehicle. It will remain a powerful vehicle when you have these large events where people come together, right? It's not just the number one viewed program in the United States. It's the number one viewed Super Bowl, the number one viewed program in the world for women. And so that's very interesting. So, it brings in a much wider audience, even than a regular football program. So where I'm going is, when you look at the other side of this, these other areas are where the growth is from, sort of personalized. And think about it for a second. If I'm Amazon has Amazon Prime, so if I'm looking at the data, I can tell of my 7 million make it up subscribers, and I'm just making that number up. But if I have 7 million viewers, I can tell what they're watching, how long they're watching, what they're rewinding, what they're binging, what categories they watch. But also, Amazon also has a browser. They have Amazon.com where I can actually browse and determine what things does Jeffrey Thompson need in his household. What is he interested in personally? And that is a significant change. So I can tell what people want to do from an entertainment point of view, but I now can start to get data on, well, what is the shape of Jeffrey Thompson, using myself, Jeffrey Thompson's life, based upon what he searches on. Oh, does he need a pool cleaner? Does he need a horseback saddle, which tells them I own a horse or a farm, or so? Is he looking for a new car? What if he's looking for a new car? What color is that new car? So if you ask the question, the digital media, like even what Amazon and others have, you have the ability to really personalize. And then I'm going to go back to the third and really important piece. I know what people want to do entertainment wise. I kind of know what they're browsing around. But now I have their credit card and I have their address. And they push the button and can buy whatever I'm selling them immediately. That is a significant game changer. It's the reason why Amazon is now always neck and neck with being in the top 5 of most valuable companies. But others are doing the same thing, right? Netflix does some of the same things. Disney is attempting to do some of the same things, and many of the other media companies. YouTube started all this, right? But the others, TikTok and Instagram, they're all sort of doing some version of it. And so where we go and where we are with it, I think that there's a lot of leadership abilities. One thing I tell everybody that I teach: you need to be a product expert. You need to be an expert in the area you're in, whether it's marketing, finance, legal, HR, whatever it is. But let's be very clear: whatever industry you go in, you need to become an expert in that industry, right? And you want to add value, become an expert, well beyond just the media and the marketing. What's causing that industry to grow? What's limiting it? What are executives challenged with? And that's how you start to gain value, as not just in the expert category you're in, but well beyond, to understanding how you become an industry expert and add a different kind of value as you grow in your career.
Absolutely. I love what you said, because it really is about learning the language of the business, learning to speak the language of the business that you're in. And there's been such a shift in the mindset of gaining data. It used to be you'd have to survey people and it was a favor, right? Oh, I wonder if they'll tell me this information. And now, because of how media has changed and social media has changed the game, it's really a tailored approach. We're asking you this information because we want to know what it is that you're really interested in. We want to make sure that we tailor our needs to what it is that you're doing. Sometimes it's a bit scary, the fact that it's so tailored that now it's popping up on my phone, certain things with music. But it really is, it really takes that branding, that marketing to the next level. And it's interesting because oftentimes when you mentioned the makeup line before, Rihanna has a whole team that has decided that they would help her with this whole branding. But oftentimes people want to market before they brand. And there is a difference. And before you get into that whole marketing space of social media, you have to make sure that you're setting up your brand before you're advertising it.
Oh my God, you just touched on something I think is so great. And I'm just, you're not, no one asked the question, but and you're getting at it. It's called.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. Did I hear some noise there? But being
feedback on I'm hearing you after, but I'm listening.
Okay, well, I apologize, but it's about being authentic.
Sorry, we need to wrap up here on the other piece. So thank you so much for joining, and Dana, thank you so much for your participation.
Okay, well, thank you. And Jeffrey, I will connect with you on LinkedIn as well, so I can hear your other thought. But I'm listening. Yes, if this is it, I'll definitely connect with you.
We should absolutely. Thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.